fulfill my mission, no matter what happens.
I feel
Never
I
stop.
should dodge that.
I probably too late now. It's in the past.
It was in the past. It was in the past in the beginning.
Yeah. But that one anime I watched, where like they had the world of magic and the angels and the devils showed up, and like they started an exchange program where like angels and devils started going to human school, and like one angel and one devil show up, and the main character is told that he's engaged to both of them. Yeah, it's an arranged marriage. It's like they don't mind that he's engaged, like that he's engaged to multiple people, but the stipulation is that he's gonna have to pick one eventually. But then he when he gets confronted about like which girl he wants to go out with, he decides he wants to go out with the normal girl that's not his childhood friend. And then
oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, it's not until after he decides on her that she has shenanigans, but like it was really
I think we talked about this in another like session. Of,
We did it.
Whatever, they can listen to it again.
It nearly went the other way, though.
fair.
Come on, that was a cinch.
We killed all of
I
those
beg
people.
to differ. Those matches were quite demanding.
Our little buddy Alvin's a big fat liar, right, Ellie?
Yes, it wasn't easy at all.
Aw, come on, guys.
It's clear that
Oh,
my
one
strength
of
has
the
grown.
one of the
I should be
one
ready
of
now.
the one of the good parts about it
Nice
is
work
that
out there.
after
Those were some fantastic
after everybody's
fights.
like
The finals begin
after he
lunch.
decides that he's
All
going to
the
go
other
out with the
entrants
other
will be
girl,
there too, though,
he looks
so
at everybody
don't
and then
expect cheery
goes,
company.
also
Anyway,
BT
you
dubs,
better grab some food.
I'm getting an apartment. And then they're all like, what? And he goes, because like it's like A, you guys wanted me to pick somebody, so I picked somebody. B, you guys all live next door to me, and that's not good for me.
Fair. What is this anime called?
I wish I remembered what it was.
God, I fucking hate
Scoping
you.
out our opponents for the finals?
Oh yeah,
Well,
this scene.
yeah, of course.
What if you spy a cute little she-warrior? Someone who's totally your type.
What? Why would that make a difference? I'm here to fight, not flirt.
We've made it to the finals. To be honest, I wasn't sure you had it in you.
Why? We told you we'd win.
Fair enough.
2 fights. We're in the finals.
Anyway, please help yourselves. You'll need to have enough energy to win the finals.
Jurgen, we've got a problem.
What is it?
Turns out that rockfall was no accident. They found signs that someone destroyed the cliff intentionally.
What? Don't touch the food.
What? Why?
What?
Alvin right there with the spoonful of poisoned food right before his mouth. Wow, look at all those dead
Do you
people that we don't
detect
care
faint
about.
odor? I know of this.
None of them was
yes.
us.
It's all
There
too
can be
late.
no
They're all
doubt.
already dead.
It's meant
But if it was one of our party members, we could still have plenty of time to find an
Why
antidote.
would anyone do this?
Do our
it's
opponents want to win
cyanide.
that badly?
No, it wasn't them. Only one group would use such cowardly means. Alvin, wait!
It's for
What's going on? Things were
the
going
ones
so
who
well.
did this.
Why is this happening?
Were our people. Those
Mila.
people.
Do you know something?
Shuffle. It's called Shuffle.
Shuffle. Why does that sound familiar?
It's because it's old.
I might have like
Exodus
seen
is
it and then
behind
passed
this
it up.
conspiracy.
What's that?
It's an organization that has been trying to assassinate me for some time.
Wait,
I like how it's
saying that
this.
poison
It is that event that gets Alvin to talk about everything.
Because he almost died. He was inches away from death.
From instant death.
indiscriminately
Literally,
just to kill you.
They've never been very
like
subtle.
where that coffee cup is in front of your face, like right before you started drinking. That's where Alvin was, and he almost died.
Because I've been destroying their Spyrexes.
It's like he
Ever
almost
since
died.
Exodus
It's
first
like
appeared
he
with
almost
them
died
20
when he
years ago.
put the food up to his
That's
face,
quite some
unlike
time
you.
ago.
And I'm like,
Hold
what?
on.
As I have the coffee in my mouth, and then I'm just.
That weapon uses Spyrex. Does that mean
Well, it's because you started drinking as I was formulating that sentence. Formulating.
But I cannot prove it. It's not easy
Formulating.
to identify
Oh,
their
and this is
members.
when we're finally going to talk
Blended
about
into
the
the
entire
populace.
organization
Until
that
now,
targets
I've
Mila.
only been able to do
That
so when they
it would have
use
been a good,
Spyrex.
would have been
I can sense the
a
spirits
little
dying
bit of a
because
good
of it.
idea to know about the existence of this organization,
Every time
especially
a
if they're
Spyrex
out to kill
generates
all of
art,
us.
it drives
No,
spirits
just
to their
Mila.
deaths.
They just happen to
Humans
think that
and
killing
spirits
someone
have a
close to
reciprocal
Mila,
relationship.
in
You borrow
addition
the
to
power to
killing
live,
Mila, is
while
totally
spirits
worth it.
live off the mana produced by humans' mana lobes. At first glance, Spyrex might seem like a dream come true. In actuality, it throws this delicate balance completely
I think it
off
would have been
kilter.
cool to like
As long as Spyrex
not
exists,
necessarily see them
neither
act,
humans
but to
nor
see like
spirits can live in
traces
peace.
of.
I feel like
Well, you
such
did
a fool.
when the rocks fell,
This is all
and when
Before that.
and when
Wait,
everyone
wait.
died.
Of
You know,
course it is.
before I played 20
I've
hours
been
into
dealing
the
with
game,
these
you know.
matters on my own, ensuring that humans remain unaware.
I mean,
Mia's been fighting this whole time?
they didn't
just
know
saying.
they didn't know where she was
She's
until
been
now.
struggling all by
I thought it
herself
would have been cool.
for the world.
Wait a minute.
Until
Are you
I
telling me
realize
that the
I've
organization
lost the
gunning
power of
to
the
kill
Form.
this
I've
person
dragged
doesn't
humans
know
into
where
my
this
struggle.
person
For
is?
that,
Well, if they
Especially
if they're avoiding them, yes.
Especially if they know
How is everyone?
where this person
Remove
originates
only
from
survivors.
and where they have been
Naturally,
up
the
until,
finals
I
have
don't
been
know, like
postponed.
3 months
Don't
ago.
expect to fight for
But
2
they've never
days,
been
possibly
there.
longer.
Remember, that village is
Didn't
hidden
cancel.
away, and
The
no one
tournament
talks
committee
about
had a
it
heated debate over the
because they
issue.
think it's not there.
But this tournament
It's
is
like in
only
the
once a
center.
decade.
It's like in the
Any sign
center of
Alvin yet?
everything. There's like a it's like a
Unfortunately,
four-way
no.
crossroads. You literally it's like to get from one place to another. You literally
I'll
cannot
return
like
once the details
pass
are
this
decided.
village.
Only in the context of the game world,
Don't
but
you
in
think we
the
should
in the
forfeit the
overall
tournament?
like
I think
in
so,
actuality, that place is hidden away
We're all
between a
exhausted.
waterfall and a death
Let's
marsh.
retire for the day and revisit this. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
There was a death march. Did I just not go to it?
Yeah, you would have died because all the monsters there are like 30 levels higher than you. 40 even, maybe. Whatever level you are now is the level of those monsters in that flood meadow. It's the Zagat flood meadow that you're going to see at some point soon. But because, alright, so big problem with recent Tales games is there's no overworld map.
Where could
You
Mila
have
have gone?
the towns
I
and
learned
then the
from one of
highways
staff that
connecting
she
the
left
towns
building
and the
by
dungeons
herself
and
early this
whatever.
morning.
And
doubt she'd do
that
anything dangerous.
extra
I mean, not after
messes
what she
with
told
like
us
a
yesterday.
perception of how the world is
I
supposed
hope
to
she's
be.
okay.
Like it makes the world seem way smaller than it is.
Now, if there was a bit where like there was an overworld map, and then they were like, oh hey, this place is tucked away, and then they're like, go in this general direction, and then once you get close enough, it's like, oh, it's like right there, and then they point to it on like the world map. That's what would have happened had we had an actual overworld. No, the place would have been there, like probably in the middle of
No,
forest or
see,
something.
you would have gone through the Kajara Sea Falls like as a dungeon, and then you would have like trekked through like some woods or whatever, and then like next to like whatever would have been the Niakara. In like the context of an overworld map. And it's like, why would anyone go to Kajara Sea Falls? It's a fucking death trap. There's quote
If
unquote
there was
nothing
a
there.
world map to view this from, it would make more sense.
Well, technically you can see the world map, but I'm talking like an overworld map. For,
That's
like,
what I meant. That's what I
travel.
meant. Like, because the world map doesn't really do too much.
Yeah, like it's a big problem, especially. All right, so there's a thing that happens in the beginning of the sequel where you are barred from going home on the train because you have incurred so much debt that they will not allow you to use public transit. That is a thing that happens. And so it's just like, okay, the game wants to teach you about the job quest system. So I'm like, all right, well, so when I first play the game and I'm doing the job quest system, I go onto the highway where I kill the monster. I collect the 20 bear asses I need to do the quest. And I go too far, and I find that at the end of like 2 screens is the city where my character lives. So I'm like, and obviously the game is just like, oh, you can't go here because of blah blah blah, bullshit reason. Like they just make up a reason, like a bridge fell, people died, we can't let you in, or whatever the hell it is. And I'm just like, so you're telling me I have to take a train to walk 2 screens away? Oh, this would make so much more sense if this had an overworld. But it doesn't, so it's like the world's super small.
Well, this is the first time we've really spoken, isn't it? She's not with you?
It seems like she went off by
Aw,
herself.
you're an adorable little
Don't I know you
child.
from somewhere?
Are you perhaps acquainted with Miss Elise here?
Elise? No, I don't know her. I have an errand I need to run. I'll see you later.
What was that about?
You extra know her.
Anyhow, we should get back to searching for Mila. If Exodus
Look
catches
how
her
look
alive,
how
she could be in
escaped she's
trouble.
doing.
See, like, look, Elise, look how that person runs
not
away.
like
It means
you.
you're really
One
important.
tough cookie. It's not Mila who's holding us back.
What is
Oh
that
man,
supposed to mean?
when you learn why she knows
Playing around.
Elise.
Let's get back to the search.
Do I
Right.
have to punch her in the face?
Oh, it's better. It's almost better.
Is she saying it with her dying breath? Like, after I pummeled the shit out of her, she goes, oh, she's... and then reveals secret.
No.
Aww.
It depending on how much you hate her, it's almost better than all of that.
Where have you been? We were worried sick.
I'm just
Sorry
thinking
about that.
You
of how
too,
much I
Alvin.
hate
Next
Ivar
time
and
you
everything
storm
I
off,
think that he
tell us where you're
deserves.
going first.
Like, every time I think of a
Kid.
punishment for him, I can't help but think
Looks
that's
like
not
Elise wants to
enough.
say something.
I think
Because,
that
like-
Isla might know something about
Oh man, like the more I hate Ivar,
Why do you say
the
that?
less I hate
Should take a long look
Ryuji.
at
Honestly,
There's no fucking way. You hated Ryuji from minute 0.
Spot Isla.
You hated that guy from like
Ask
the
her what she knows,
second
okay?
you saw him.
Okay.
so just so you guys know, I had watched somebody play like the first hour of Persona 5. And so, like, when I go to play, I pick different dialogue choices in that person, and then when you pick any any dialogue option that resembles your character rejecting Ryuji just ignores it and does whatever he's gonna do anyway.
Well, yeah, you gotta stay on the rails.
Thank you.
You can't divert from the
How
rails.
did you know we were tournament fighters?
Why else would you be here? Outsiders are either combatants.
So you'd
or
have to play like
spectators
another
during
game to
time.
reject the
That's
offer of
just common sense
friendship.
around here.
Play a game where I can actually reject. You know what the problem is, though?
Why'd
I
you
bet in
ask
that
them
game where I
that?
can reject somebody's offer of friendship, that person,
Sorry,
I'm
something just
I'm
clicked in my
probably
head.
gonna like all those characters anyway, better than
Let's head to the
Ryuji.
arena.
anyway.
I'm talking about-
my main problem with Ryuji is like the fact that you literally cannot reject Ryuji results in scenarios in which he just kind of injects himself into your life regardless of you telling him to go away. And then that's where my problem came from.
See, the problem is you wanted to tell him to go away just
thank the
for the
spirits
sake
you
of
came.
telling him to go
The
away.
tournament committee suddenly voted to hold the finals.
Oh no, I wanted to tell him to
They
go away
decided to
because I knew
revert
he
to
made
the
a bunch
Late
of
King's
terrible
rules.
decisions.
The Late
And that was
King's
before I even
rules?
knew what he actually
You
had
don't
done.
I'm afraid I do. A fight to the death. I didn't
What terrible
mention it
decisions
before,
could he
but
have
the
possibly
old
made
rules also
before
mandate
the
that
phone
fights be
call?
one-on-one.
The phone call's
No,
like
I'm
the
talking about future bad decisions.
Well, we still need those
Yeah,
wires.
Oh no,
Sitting
wait.
is not
No,
an
he
option.
doesn't. He doesn't do
Still
anything
very
too terrible. up until the phone call, and then from the phone call, it's all downhill.
No, it's alright. It's the phone call and fighting with Mona, and then like that's it.
Are you sure?
Hold on. How do you know about those memes?
He doesn't learn his lesson.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Everybody just ignores it afterwards too.
That's because it became a non-issue.
You're kidding me, right?
Because everyone learned their lesson. Also, Mona was being a git. Mona was being a
She
git.
deserved it. Like, no, I'm not saying she deserved it. I'm saying she was right. He was in the right at that particular moment. Especially after things Ryuji said,
what about all the times Mona shits on Ryuji?
There's a difference between like Ryuji took it like there was a difference between the shit talking that Mona was doing and then the next level bullshit that fucking Ryuji was saying. Ryuji was like, I did like after Mona walks away, it's not even a self-reflection of like, oh, we were playing around and then maybe I took it too far. He goes, I didn't do anything wrong. Everything is Mona's fault. And it's
Mona's being a git though. This is an outrage. Mona's being an extra git.
Their plan is a house of cards. If anyone
she doesn't start it until Ryuji. I don't care. She sounds like a girl to me.
Well, it's because it's voiced by a woman.
I'll take their bait. Anything to drag them.
You know what? Let's be fair. Gender neutral. He. Oh no, I know. He does identify as a
them. It.
No, he does identify as a male. We have to respect that.
It's not worth it. Mila's gonna die.
He does specifically say that he sees himself as male.
To take care of the Exodus agents in the stands.
So I will respect Mona's decision to be male,
Normally we have
even though it's technically an it.
But now we have a time and a place. It's a logical plan.
If we don't strike now, they'll slip away and find time to prepare a new plan. There's no guarantee.
But no, Mona shit talks Ryuji. He's like, wow, Ryuji, you're fucking useless.
The pride of your clan is on the line, isn't it?
See, you're just already on that side.
I am.
So when Ryuji tells Mona that Mona's
it's like,
useless
I'm so
now,
far on that side. We're talking via like phone call. It's like, Alan, just take a step in this direction, and then I take a step in the opposite direction.
it's just like Mona's always calling Ryuji like shit and useless. That like the second Ryuji starts saying that exact stuff.
The thing is that they throughout the game they go back and forth with each other.
Yeah, and from Ryuji's point of view, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, but then he doesn't reflect on the fact
because Mona's being a git, not telling anyone anything. He's not making
everybody. No, the problem is everybody. He doesn't have to tell everybody. Everybody knows this. They all tell Ryuji that it's his fault.
The first time he runs away, Mona was just like, I'm being a git, blah blah blah, runs away. And then it's like, Ryuji, you gotta apologize. And he's just like, fine, I guess I'll apologize.
And then he doesn't.
He kind of half apologizes.
No, he doesn't.
Ryuji's a good boy.
He's a fucking asshole and a retard.
Because that makes a lot of sense.
Where's Ivar when I need
getting eaten
I
by
would very
a dragon.
much like to start hating somebody else.
Wait a minute.
What? He didn't channel that.
And with that kind of power,
with the flips and shit.
Spyrex.
Oh no.
I can hear the spirit's cries. We're too late again.
It's those assholes.
That hair, though.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you never see those two again. No! Those two are completely irrelevant characters.
Original sprites.
I know. You never see them again.
Someone kidnapped Tipo. Elise just went after
I like how people just watch them violently assault.
I like
this
how
little
Leia
girl.
just watched it happen. She's like only one row up and like 5 feet to the left. Or right, my bad.
To the side. Hey, look how much cheating that's happening.
Hey, what happened to just one-on-one?
It's okay, we get to see this.
They weren't after you. Their target must have been Tipo all along.
Time to make it not one-on-one.
I didn't know, I swear.
Then it's up to you to save her.
What? Do you mean you're testing my loyalty?
I'm counting on you to do this.
This is almost as good as...
See, this is... I find it weird that Alvin is, like, asking the question, are you questioning, like, she's testing my loyalty right now? Because, like...
Well...
It's weird that, because, like, yeah, we have to go protect Elise anyway. Like,
well... the reason for that is something you didn't see, because you're on Jude's side. On Mila's side, Alvin points a gun at Mila's face.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's to shoot her, because he was a member of Exodus that wants to kill her. Like you wouldn't test someone's loyalty after.
I'm surprised that Leia didn't go to help Elise. Like, it's Mila's in danger.
All right.
Let's forget about the small child that is currently being abducted.
Well, Alvin's going after her. That like the reason I forgive that is we see only like Leia being only like 10 feet away in the row above, but I'm thinking that there's more people than what is actually shown on screen, like in actuality. So,
and the only reason I think that Jude doesn't go to help Elise is because he didn't see it.
Well, he was on the other side of the arena.
That's why.
Yeah, you were amazing.
Of course. This is my
Because
mission.
otherwise Jude would have been like, Neela's got this. She's a fucking omnipotent being. Let's go save the little girl.
But then more people with lightning guns show up.
Nah, she would have had it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this bit. Oh man. Scott saw me edit this too.
I was like, what's he doing? And then I was like, oh, okay. Oh my god. Every time. It gets me every playthrough.
Where Alvin and Elise ran off to?
It's gone for half a second, and then the explosion happens after her foot's on the ground.
Hold on. We know they left the city.
It was like that time we were watching Agito, and we saw the pyrotechnics box sitting there on the ground.
I was like, Scott, did you see that? And you go, what? The pyrotechnics box? After the camera had already cut away, and you're like, no, I didn't. So then I'm going back.
Catching those little editing goofs was a joy.
When people make like
full
movements in between shots.
You didn't see it, but I emulated that moment where he's posing for his belt to appear, and that he's suddenly a foot to the left with his belt on.
Found their trail.
Where does it lead?
Oh man, that's great.
We were too careless. They've gone into the royal hunting grounds.
Oh yeah, and then Leia's like, "Oh, I was like 10 feet away from her. I should have been there."
Hunting grounds for generations. It's a sprawling, primeval place.
I could have handled that fight with 3 people.
Thank you, Jurgen.
The hunting grounds team with dangerous monsters.
Oh no!
Please be extra careful.
I don't know if you could have handled it with 3 people.
But you forget.
Our foes in the arena used arts.
You didn't have one of your healers. You only had one healer.
Technology.
It is, but there are many types of Spyrex.
You had one healer
which
and
employ different
Jude.
amounts of mana. The Spyrex
Who's
we
kind
saw
of a
in the
healer.
arena
Oh,
is at a
I
far
took
lower
that off.
level than the
I'm gonna
type
be
of
honest with you. I took that off my thing
command
forever
most
ago.
I never take it off.
Level as a
Oh,
terrifying
man.
concept.
Because what's really cool about so I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you get healed, your link partner will also get healed by a certain amount, or by like I don't know, like 25% or some shit.
So I know we only got like a minute left of this video,
this show on the
but
road.
what's
Leia,
the
your hand
thing
is hurt.
where like I get
That's nothing.
like
few
the
licks and it'll be as
swirly
good as
elemental
new.
balls on my
I
body?
doubt that.
That's
Here, let
Leia
me see
casting
not my
some
mom.
spell. I forget what it's
Spare me
called,
the
but what it
bravado.
does is it
can
grants
always
you
tell
a
when you're faking
quote
it.
unquote random elemental
Ladies'
effect
man
on your
juke, you get
attacks.
right through a woman's
But
heart.
fun fact,
As
it will
if.
automatically give you
And
an
yet I
element
can
that
read you
your
like a
target
book.
is weak against
Oh,
if they're weak
really?
against an element.
What am I thinking about right now?
It's pretty cool.
Let's see.
It sometimes it works against you because sometimes
got
she'll cast
I'm
it
so
when you're fighting an enemy
hungry.
without a
Hey, that
weakness
doesn't
and
count.
only a resistance, and there's a chance that it will give you the resistance and thus you will not do as much damage.
Makes me think of Final Fantasy 13, where like your AI partners will automatically use an element that the enemy's weak to, and you never have to scan them ever.
Well, it's only when they find the weakness. If they don't, in 13, if they don't know the weakness, they'll throw all the different elements that they can possibly until they hit a weakness.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Yeah, where's the mouse?
No, dying.